Another day, another video. So today's video is all about, I don't know if this is gonna happen or not, but I am signing a offer document for a house. If this is meant for me, it's meant for me. God willing, it works out. Okay, I'm going through it right now, you guys. You guys are here for moral support. Okay, continue. If this goes as planned, this is gonna be a Thanksgiving for the books. Okay, let's first finish together. Let's hope this works out. I can't stop smiling. And guess who might be entering their homeowner era? I'm so excited. But if this doesn't work out, this is an amazing process. I am beyond grateful for it. I'm beyond grateful for everyone who's been helping me, and I'm just very excited for what the future holds. So, to it being the one or not the one. See y'all soon. How I purchased my first home at the age of 23. So I recently have purchased a home. January 9th was our closing date. This is me 10 minutes from getting the key. And I just wanted to tell you guys how I got there, because it was a lot, but I'm so glad I did it, and I'm so glad I worked towards it. So this video is going to be all about how I purchased my first home. So I hope you guys stay along, and let's get to it. So a little bit of background, I'm currently 23 years old. I closed on my first home on January 9th of 2024, so while I was still 23. And yes, it was a crazy journey, but that's not what today's video is about. It is all about how I was able to do that. So, first of all, a lot of support. So I've never really been big on finances. I always had an interest in saving towards a bigger goal. I just never really had clarity on what it was going to go towards. So purchasing a home wasn't in my books initially, but here I am, and I'm so glad I did it. But I needed a lot of guidance per se. So a lot of people who helped me was my realtor, my financial advisor, my insurance broker, even my lawyer, because there's a lot of finances legality wise that I was not aware about until starting this process and going through and finishing it as well. So one of the biggest supports is probably the reason why I was able to do any of this, but it's definitely my mom. She's the one who motivated me. She's the one who pushed me to this. She's the one who made me realize a goal that I never knew I had until she opened my eyes to the possibility of it. And she is truly the reason why I was able to get this opportunity to purchase this home. So I have to give my thanks to her, because truly without her, this would have not happened. And a lot of my support is due to her in this process, because it was really hard and it was really foreign territory. I've never done this. I've never done anything like this. So yes. The next thing is a good credit score. I did not realize how much credit affects this type of process until I was starting to look at the actual possibility of doing this venture. And I had really good credit. I started building my credit since I was able to open a credit card. I was initially under my mom, as in the sense that she was able to help me open this account before the age of 18. So I was able to start building my credit, and I would always put my phone bill on there, my gym, anything that I could put a bill on, like a reoccurring payment, I would put that on there, and I would make sure it's paid even before it was like the actual credit was due, as in like I would do it before its payment date. So another thing is I would only do 30% utilization, which means let's say if I had $1,000 that I could use on the credit card, I only used 30% of that. So I only used, I want to to say under 300, but I was always far below that. So that is something that helps build credit, at least here in Alberta, because my financial advisor told me about that. And the biggest thing is, this was ever since I started having a credit card, was the mindset that the money that's available, so your available credit on that credit card, is not your money. It's your money that you're borrowing, which is really important mindset to get into, because it prevented me from mindlessly spending, because at the end of the day, it was not my money to spend. The only money that was mine to spend was based on my income. Whatever I brought in from my income, I would spend that money, and that's considered my money. The credit card, I didn't consider my money. So having that mindset really made sure that I would pay on time, and it would make sure that I wouldn't go too crazy on the card, which really was never an issue with me, because I don't really have like outlandish spending to begin with. And that is another thing. I am a really big saver. I've never been into spending my money on material things. I do love treating the ones I love. So I think my biggest purchases would probably be that. And I would say when I invested in my laptop before university. Yeah, that would be a big one. Other than that, I didn't really make big purchases unless it was like gifts or memories, because I put heavy value on memories. So experiences is something I would invest to. So yeah, that is kind of my mindset when it comes to money as well. So the next thing, in full transparency, I had to get a cosigner. Now, that is not to say it was anything bad on my part. I did have good credit at that time. Well, I still do. And I also saved a lot of money. I had a employment, but I didn't have steady employment. And a little bit of background on myself. I am a double degree, so I'm currently enrolled in a double degree. So I'm full-time at one institution and part-time at the other for my degrees, as well as being part-time worker. So I always had multiple jobs, but it was never considered steady income, which didn't make me a reliable individual to have a loan from the bank, which is why I needed a cosigner. And that is something with, I think, also my age. It's one of those things where they don't fully trust you, which is fair. They don't entirely know me. They don't know my history, even though I was with the bank as long as I can financially recall when I started my accounts and whatnot. But it makes sense that the bank does require a cosigner. So I did need to get a cosigner in order to purchase this place. When it comes to working, I was working. I've been working as long as I can remember. The moment that they gave us the opportunity to start, so like the starting age of employment in Alberta, I had a job. If I didn't have one job, I had multiple jobs. For the majority of my working time, I've always had multiple jobs, and it's just something that worked with me. Even with school, I was the type of students where I would literally have my scrubs on, going to class in the morning, and then going to my shift afterwards. I worked a lot of hours, and it was one of the reasons that I was able to afford this, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm getting a loan from the bank, but I need to pay a down payment, and in order to pay that down payment, I needed to have a certain reservoir of money. And to be able to do so, I had to work. I had to save like crazy, and yes, it was hard at times. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it was just dandy. I went through very many moments. I questioned myself a lot at the point of time, but that's where my support came in, because if I didn't have that support system, I don't think I would have followed through with this. So I do want to preface by saying I didn't need to work. I currently live at home. A lot of my expenses are covered because I am at home with my parents. I didn't need to work. I never needed to. That urge was never truly there, but I did work because I wanted to work. I knew that there was something in me that I wanted to work towards, even if it wasn't clear. But that moved on to my next point. I truly had a dream. For as long as I can remember, I knew I wanted something big for myself. I wasn't aware of in what capacity. Honestly, a lot of the things that happened in my life happened because in that situation is when I realized what I wanted. So it wasn't until I went into university that I realized I wanted to go into nursing and have a psych degree. It wasn't until I reached a certain number in my account and I looked at my account and realized that I could do something with this and I wanted to. So at some point I did start to form a little bit more clarity, and I was never really interested in purchasing a car. I have a beautiful used car that I love with all my heart, and I never felt the need to purchase a new one, but I also have this money in my account and I didn't know what to put it towards. So when the moment came arise, God willing, because without him this all wouldn't have been possible, but when the time arose for that opportunity to come and allowed me to realize that this is something that I could have for myself, that's when I did it. I started to look into it seriously, look at the numbers, and that's another thing I want to point out. In doing this process, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of stuff that happened behind the curtains, and one day I'll probably be ready to talk to y'all about it, but for right now, I will say this: it was really hard. It tested my patience in a lot of ways. It tested me in a lot of ways, but because of the people around me and people who were cheering me on, I was able to go through with it and put the down payment on my first home. And that's how it happened. At the age of 23, I was able to purchase my first place, and now I'm sitting here. It is currently June 8th, so 6 months later. Oh my gosh. Tomorrow, you guys, that's crazy, but tomorrow is literally gonna be 6 months of me purchasing that home, and I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. Full transparency, every time I think about it, it's crazy to me that this was something I was able to accomplish and I was able to have this opportunity even, because I never imagined this for myself, but here I am and it has occurred. So yes, in order for me to purchase the home, a lot of things had to take place, a lot of things had to go right, and the doors opened for me to allow me to have this opportunity to walk through it, and on the other side was a house. So that's how at 23 I was able to close on my first home. And I am sharing this with you 6 months later because I couldn't believe it myself. I couldn't believe the first couple months when I was telling my loved ones that I did it. I couldn't believe what I was saying a lot of times, and sometimes I still catch myself feeling that way when I gotta pay my mortgage or my insurance or the bills. It's just crazy to think that the beginning of the year, this actually was on my mood board. I had keys to a place and it was like this dangling, because I knew this, I was already in the process of looking at places at that point, but I didn't realize it would happen so quickly for me and the right place would show up, and all of the puzzle pieces just fell together and it just worked beautifully. But yes, here we are. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're more interested behind the finances of it, I would definitely be up to sharing that, and hopefully one day I can share the actual process of what buying a home looked like for me. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and since I treat this like my digital diary, here are all the clips of what that process looked like. So the last tenants that lived here, they made a lot of holes. So I've already filled it, but now I gotta sand it. So let's get to work. And what it looked like after, because I couldn't believe it, and I still can't. So thank you guys for staying with me to this point of video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye. It's for memories, don't worry. No, it's just for us.
I started by saying I'm the best cousin, and I started by saying that.
And that's why it's just for us. Comments like this ain't gonna be in it. So,
what's that?
Guess. What is it?
Is that for rock climbing?
Don't look at this. I don't know what this is. She said it's a bottle opener. What does it look like?
House keys.
Okay. Now what does a house have to do with it?
You're moving. You're getting your own apartment.
No. I bought a house.
You bought a house?
I bought a house.
What the fuck?
You bought a house? With what money?
Hey, what do you mean you bought a house?
No, you said you got 200 subscribers, bro. This guy's lying.
I didn't make any money.
You're serious? You're gonna buy a house?
No, I have that house.
She has it. It's her. She has the keys.
What are we saying when we buy a house? Are we talking, you know?
Do you want me to see it? Do you want to
Yes.
see
Are you serious?
it? Come on, investigator.
Like what? What?
Have you ever seen these keys before?
No, they're all silver.
Okay.
This is a bottle opener.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. What? Do I have to start looking at insignias?
No. What do they look like?
Keys. That could be anything. To a house? To a mailbox?
You're right on the first one.
A house. You bought a house?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god.
Last time when I pulled it out, I was like, oh, I'll tell her yet, so I put it back in the purse. So the reason I went MIA last month is because of clinicals, but it's because I've been fixing up the place. I've been painting it and whatnot. Yeah.
Shit.
And I still couldn't believe it, so it took me a little longer than I was planning to tell you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
I didn't think it actually happened. After the first house, I was like, I don't think this is gonna happen. And I have house insurance. So I didn't know a house needed so much.
Oh, I love this for you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It took me a little longer because I couldn't believe it. Like, I genuinely still go to the house and I sit down, I'm like,
This is mine.
so like technically I could just do whatever I want in this house.
No.
It was a blur a lot. If I'm being honest. Shocking blur. I didn't think we'd actually get it. And then they're like, they accepted. I was like,
Oh shit.
let me just check my bank account again.
Let's just